According to recent media reports, between 2014 and 2015, U.S. Navy pilots detected several unidentified flying objects (UFOs) during training. Their radars detected these UFOs flying at hypersonic speeds at altitudes just over 9,000 meters, despite having no obvious means of propulsion. In total, 6 pilots who were stationed on the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt during that time period spotted UFOs during flights along the southeast coast of the U.S., The New York Times reported late last month. 2 of the Navy pilots interviewed by The New York Times have also appeared in the new History Channel documentary series, Unidentified, Inside America's UFO Investigation, which also premiered late last month. The objects had no distinct wing, no distinct tail, no distinct exhaust plume. Lieutenant Danny Aucoin, one of the pilots, said, "It seemed like they were aware of our presence because they would actively move around us." Aucoin had told The Times that although tracking equipment, radar and infrared cameras on his aircraft had detected the UFOs twice, he was unable to capture them on his helmet camera. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Ryan Graves, the other pilot featured in the documentary, said that a squadron of UFOs followed his Navy strike group up and down the eastern coast of the U.S. for months. After the USS Theodore Roosevelt was deployed to the Arabian Gulf on March 2015, the UFOs reappeared. Such accounts would surely fire up the imagination of those of us who are fascinated by the thought of extraterrestrials visiting our planet. However, before we get too excited about this prospect, it's worth noting that none of the pilots interviewed by The Times suggested that the UFOs they detected were alien in origin. So, what were they? Well, the pilots themselves thought that they might have been part of a highly classified drone program using cutting-edge technology. There are other possibilities. Secret behind UFOs. Leon Golub, a senior astrophysicist at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, said the possibility of an extraterrestrial cause is so unlikely that it competes with many other low-probability but more mundane explanations. Among the examples he gave were bugs in the code for the imaging and display systems, atmospheric effects and reflections, neurological overload from multiple inputs during high-speed flight. Meanwhile, Seth Shostak, a senior astronomer at the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute (SETI), offers a few other possibilities. The UFOs could be drones from rival countries. He highlighted the fact that the sightings, which mostly occurred off the coast and coastal regions, are where you might expect a rival superpower's craft to fly over. He also noted that these pilots began spotting the UFOs after their plane's radar system was upgraded, which suggests that the sightings might be due to some software bug. As anybody who uses Microsoft products knows, whenever you upgrade any technical product, there are always problems, he told Space.com. For those hoping these UFO sightings are proof of alien visitations to Earth, such comments by the likes of Shostak may be a bit of a disappointment. But while a more mundane explanation for these sightings is the logical one, that doesn't mean that there aren't efforts to investigate and search for aliens from outer space. In fact, there are quite a few. Shostak's SETI itself is the leading organization doing just that. But long before SETI, there were various U.S. organizations investigating the UFO and alien phenomenon. UFO fans would be familiar with the name Roswell. Persistent stories of a UFO landing near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 has led to many conspiracy theories of a U.S. Air Force cover-up. The report published by the Air Force in 1948 stated that the things people saw were real, but pointed out that some of the incidents may be caused by natural phenomena, while others may be related to domestic or foreign aircraft. A lookout for UFOs. Project Blue Book, a U.S. Air Force program, conducted a series of studies between 1952 and 1969 to figure out if UFOs could hurt national security. Investigators collected more than 12,000 sightings and classified them as either identified, meaning the events could be explained by astronomical, atmospheric or human phenomena, or unidentified, meaning there was no official explanation for the sightings. That category made up about 6% of the total reported cases. Project Ozma, named after the Wizard of Oz, a program funded by the U.S. National Science Foundation, monitored 2 stars, Tau Ceti, in the constellation Cetus, and Epsilon Eridani, in the constellation Eridanus, for 6 hours a day from April to July 1960. No signal was found, except for an early false alarm caused by a secret military experiment. SETI is the biggest effort of all. The U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) began conducting SETI searches using advanced antennas in the 1970s, and that lasted until 1993 when the observations were ended when funding from the U.S. Congress ended. The SETI Institute in California, however, carried on, with private funding, the search for advanced life forms in the universe. In a joint project with the University of California, Berkeley, it built 42 individual telescopes that function as a single massive instrument. Dubbed the Allen Telescope Array, named after its benefactor, Microsoft co-founder, Paul Allen, it began observations in 2007. According to the SETI Institute, the telescopes should allow scientists to observe up to 1 million nearby stars for radio or optical signals in the next 2 decades. There are also many other informal SETI searches being conducted by universities, including the University of California, Berkeley, which has several SETI programs, the Italy's University of Bologna, which has a radio SETI search, and Harvard University in Boston, which has an optical SETI search. So, while the U.S. Air Force's detection of UFOs might not be what UFO enthusiasts are hoping for, signs of alien life, and indeed visits to Earth, the various SETI efforts around the world might just one day lead to such a discovery. Thanks for watching. To get more storage solution videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment below to let us know what you'd like to see next.